Hey, everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey London.
and this is Volume Up by the Tees. All right, Jeff, so what have we been up to? I feel like the world is going so fast. We've been doing all of the things. What's happening at your house?
I mean, what I'm doing is helping to coordinate some shoots that are happening in our
Woo.
offices that are
Okay,
going to be happening as of the time that this hits. We are deep in pre-pro right now for various printed shoots. You will be doing one. I don't want to give
yes.
away too much, so I'm not going to say more, but we're very excited about that. So that is something that we're planning for. But
Yeah.
then we are also having a number of folks come to our offices. This past week, we had friend of the pod, Monet Everett, come to our studios in Madison, which is very exciting. She brought with her
Incredible.
a number of people that are participating in her mentorship program. They also participated in the shoot. So much incredible hairstyling, which will be revealed in the next issue of Printed, which we're excited about. And then we have hairstylists coming in from all over the country early next week,
Ooh,
and they will be
wow.
doing their shoots. So yeah, we've been busy DMing, emailing, texting, all of the things.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
How?
don't think, yeah, one sec. Yeah, just let me say my piece,
Hmm.
shall you? Just kidding.
Hmm.
I don't think people know how big of a lift, and when I say lift, I'm using a marketing term, but how big of a deal, how hard it is, how much goes into an actual shoot. And then, I mean, you plan hours and hundreds of hours perhaps, and then you
Hmm.
shoot all day. And sometimes it's just for like literally one shot.
Yep. Yep.
It's a lot.
And that's the
So
breaks. That's
mhm,
creative.
that's creative,
Yeah,
baby. Yep.
that's that's what it, and you will be
So,
very much in the thick of it. How do
oh
you
my
feel about
gosh,
that?
that's right. I kind of keep forgetting that I'm the subject matter, which is insane. Sorry to all who will be viewing said creative. No, it's gonna crush,
No,
right?
no, it's going to be great.
Oh
It's
my
going to be great.
gosh.
We're going to be very excited about that. We cannot wait to reveal. But yeah, the first has to happen for us to reveal
Yeah.
something. So there's
It'll be a
that. But yeah,
burner.
we've
Burner.
been busy. November's been jam-packed.
It has. I actually just got back from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. All of them.
Casual.
I hit them all.
Tri-state.
My Uber bill is woof, way up there. I was out there for an agency client and then also a tease client that we've worked with before,
Hmm.
Milkshake, which is an incredible brand based in Italy. And we're going to make a big old splash of it here in the United States for all of us pros because they actually have an incredible color line. And we need to shout it from the rooftops and tell everybody about it. So look for more
Hmm.
from Milkshake, both in their color line as well as their care and styling. And I didn't know this, but I thought this was really interesting. They were saying that it was one of the top, from a consumer perspective, and on
Hmm.
Amazon, one of their conditioners was one of the top conditioner SKUs purchased on all of Amazon.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
there's this huge consumer pull. So
Hmm.
it smells absolutely delicious and lovely and all of the things. So I'm excited to use it. But anyway, I luckily got out of LaGuardia and there I go. Um,
Jeez.
and I was lucky for that. I did sit a little bit on the tarmac, but it could have been much worse, certainly. I could have been taking
Yes.
an Uber back to the Midwest.
A very expensive Uber bill at that
Yeah,
point.
I mean, maybe not as much as going 22 miles in New York. Takes about 2.5 hours, just
True.
if you're
True.
wondering.
True.
So
True.
luckily I
Next time we'll
had
have to
really
get you on the
nice,
subway.
yeah, that's fair. Luckily I had really nice Uber drivers and I would just like chat. I'm that gal that's just like a chat. I don't mark silent or whatever type of ride,
You
but
just
I,
let it
I think
happen.
it just, my energy just, people just want to jump right in, Jeff, and want to know what I'm up to, all of the things. And you have that moment where you're like, This could be scary."
Hmm. Hmm.
I always send my route to one of my friends who's like super paranoid. Well, Tiff,
Hmm.
Tiff, you've met her.
Hmm. Hmm.
And she's
Hmm.
like, "I'm tracking you, babe. I see you're almost there. See you're almost there."
That's
Because
love.
it's
That's
real
friendship.
love. It's
That's yeah.
really touching. Yeah. So anyway, I've got somebody, not that she can do anything
No, but
really,
I mean, but
but
knowing is a little bit of the you
cheering,
gotta yeah,
cheering.
sharing is caring. It's funny you're saying this because I live where Uber is headquartered.
Oh, God bless.
I'm
Yeah.
in the thick
The
of Silicon
bros.
Valley, and we get all sorts of Uber related advertising
Oh.
via various digital. So the
Hmm.
whole letting your friends know like they're very big on that. The company wants you to alert, and I think there might be a feature. I I'm not going to look into
Oh,
it.
I see the sharing your ride. Let people know. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
There's also, and like women can opt for women only drive. There's all sorts of
Oh, I should do
things
that
that
because
have
I've
rolled
been
out
in.
here.
Mm,
I
mm,
think that that's why they've got
had a
that
couple.
feature. Hmm.
Had a
Hmm.
couple real doozies at night. One of them was in Miami. I was like, I'm not well right now. And,
And
you
you live
know,
to
what
tell
do you
about it.
do? Because people
Hmm.
back home are possibly sleeping.
Hmm.
And that was pre-safety features. One of the things I always look at too is, you know how the automatic locks lock
Hmm.
and you're supposed to like try to unlock it because there could be
Mm.
child locks on it
Oh yeah.
and you couldn't get out.
Do,
There you go.
wow.
You're welcome for
Yeah.
that level of
Ooh,
paranoia.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Welcome
afraid
for
I
that.
don't often check, but
It, but think
yikes.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want
Mm.
to. I don't want to. Here we are. Let's
Here
do
we are.
something
Just
lighter. Can we transition into
we can.
because
Let's,
that
we
one will stay
shall.
with you. Let's
That'll
again,
get you.
let's get into some celeb photos of the
Okay.
week. If you could, listeners, follow along with us. Go to our Instagram, go to the show notes. You can see exactly what we're talking about. Again, we've not seen these before,
Yeah.
so it's going to be fun for all of us. First up, we've got Kristen Stewart.
Yes. She's been through it and back, hasn't she? In
Yeah.
general. I mean, truly. I feel like I feel proud of her. Do you? I mean, she was
Um,
kind of in the depths of like,
I mean, I guess.
she was unwell, right?
Yeah, sure,
I
sure.
think.
Twilight, I just,
Hmm.
I mean, I know like we're coming back around to it. Like people are like appreciating it. I hated it. I never saw the
I don't.
whole,
No,
never, I
I don't.
didn't want anything to do with it. Didn't understand the fanfare. But yeah, I guess she has really sort of been through it.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were referring to her hair because she's been
Well, that's
every
also been
color
through
under
it.
the sun. But you are right. I think maybe in a larger sense. Yeah. So in this look, she's
Yeah.
at a Chanel Academy of Motion Picture and Sciences
Hmm.
luncheon. So she's decked out in Chanel. What are we looking at hair wise?
Hair wise, we're looking at pretty stick straight,
Hmm.
a half pulled back look that's kind of
Hmm.
slicked back.
Hmm.
Bangs are slicked back as well, not totally to the scalp or the head, but
Hmm.
it shows off her incredible jawline, if you will. I don't think it's really that intricate. I mean, it kind of looks like she just popped that together. I mean, she's wearing kind of like a sweatsuit. Granted, I'm sure it's a Chanel sweatsuit, which hell yes. But I don't think it's really styled hair, do you?
Wow. You're
I
so I'm
mean,
not disagreeing with you, but I am chuckling because a deer did it and
hmm,
you know.
maybe I
So we
shouldn't have said
know that
that.
it was not just
Hmm.
a casual pulled back situation,
That's
although it may
fair.
look it.
It does.
As
Yeah,
we've said, effortless isn't
it
without
is.
effort.
Right.
Yeah, so there are some other photos. I think if you go to a Deer's account, you sort of have like a greater appreciation for maybe the structure. It
Yeah,
is a little bit of like a bouffant almost, like
you're
a sort
right.
of quiffy. So there's that.
I love a bouffant, to
No,
be
I know.
honest. I
And
mean,
it's
that
like a
never
little
went out.
bit, no. This
Not for
this
me.
in these pics, it's a little bit piecier, which I think is
Hmm.
helpful. But I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, I really like the color. I think the color,
Yes.
as well as her eyebrows, which are obviously very strong and thick, I'm liking that combo.
Okay.
So for me,
I do
it's like
too.
a
Color's great.
6.
All right. For me, I'm just gonna go 5. I think, here's the thing though. I don't think you want to go too major with that look. So I'm sure it was incredibly intentional, right?
I'm sure.
I'm
Yes.
gonna
Yeah.
have a huge, crazy hair with kind of like a tracksuit,
Yeah.
a Chanel
Yeah.
tracksuit,
Yeah.
which,
And it's a
like I said.
lunch. What are you? Yeah.
Hmm.
So appropriate. All right.
All
Next up,
right.
who do we have?
Okay, next up we have our girl, Rihanna, who does
Hmm.
no wrong. I think I stared at this outfit for like way longer than I should, to be honest. She was actually accepting the Style Icon Award at the 2025 CFDAs, and she looked absolutely stunning. I mean, she's just got it. She's just always got it. So, what are we looking at hair wise?
So done by Youssef.
Mm,
I think she's sort of partial to this style. Pulled
yeah.
back with
Hmm.
a bang that is swooped across the side, sort of asymmetrically. Very sleek, nice and piecey. Dark, which is important because she's currently promoting various different Savage Fenty products with a blonde look
Hmm.
on social. So I think like there's that sort of
Intentional,
element
right?
here. I'm really liking this style. You said the outfit. She's wearing
Yeah.
Alaya. Very
Ugh,
voluminous, lots of
so
different
good.
layers. Pants tucked into the shoe, question mark, it looks like.
Yes, that's what I was
Um,
trying to decipher.
mhm, mhm,
Big, almost like curtain-like pleated
mhm,
looking white pants tucked into a pointy toe black pump, which are
mhm.
we doing that now? Like, should
I
I
think we may.
arrive
I
at
mean,
the
if she
office
if
like
she is
this?
doing that,
It's,
I think we are want to.
you know what we should do is we should think about how long it takes
Holiday
for
party
that.
look.
No, yeah, how long it takes for this trend to trickle down into
Hmm.
mainstream, or not even mainstream, just like the girly girls,
Hmm.
because I'm sure it's going to happen.
Yeah, I
This
mean
is new.
it is a
And it's new.
stunning look.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think the hair really does complement what she's doing.
I do too.
It's not distracting from. It's also not like not a thing. Like she's good at
Well,
making statement on statement, which I appreciate.
agree. And what I think you missed, Jeff,
Mhm.
is the part was so deep. It was like right at her
Ooh,
temple. And
yep.
so I love that too. I mean, it's just dramatic and the
Hmm.
whole outfit fits. So I'm gonna give it a 9. I think we're really doing it.
I'm there. I'm there.
All
It's a nine
right.
for me too.
Okay, next up we have Ciara and Jeff. If you he like I thought he froze for a
Yeah,
second, but
no.
he just sort of stopped, and I think it's a good stop, but okay, he does not. Let me explain the hair.
Yeah, why don't you? Explain it.
Okay,
What do we got?
she was also at CDFA, and first of all, I think I'm partial because I love menswear and women. She's wearing
Yes.
a stunning white suit with a fur sort of stole in her hands with white gloves.
Mhm.
But the hair is just a really straight at the jawline bob, middle
Mhm.
part super shiny, super slick, but really cuts right at the jawline and back. So I
Mhm.
think it really works for this outfit. I really like it, but let's hear what Jeff has to hate on this one. I don't know.
It's so corny. It's so corny. I can't. I no, no,
Come
no.
on.
It's
Oh,
it's like a weird
oh,
length for her,
all right.
and it's the volume. Like I don't know that we.
The volume's a little much. It
It's
could be a little
yeah.
tighter to the
It's
scalp.
yeah.
Yeah.
It. I mean, like we don't want to look like Lord Farquaad. Like I
Oh,
understand
whoa.
those memes, which she doesn't. I'm not saying she does. To be clear, I'm saying that's the danger. Like when you've got these kinds of wigs. Um, it can go into that territory. So I appreciate that there's volume because otherwise it could look a little, but I just don't think it works. I don't think it works at all. It looks like it's just sitting on her head.
That's a fair point. I'm still good. I'm still gonna give it
Especially
a
if you
6. I
scroll
mean,
through and you
yeah.
see like her with Anna Wintour
Let
who
me
doesn't know
scroll.
her in that
Oh,
goddamn bob of hers. Um, just in the way that it sits, I
there's
don't
not much movement. You're right.
yeah, I just it looks like it's
Do you
just placed
think?
upon her head.
Do you think she was channeling Anna Wintour? Because like
Probably,
side by
very
side, they
probably.
look
No, no, no.
real
Very,
close.
very and that's why I'm saying it's
Yeah.
corny.
Okay. That then
I
maybe
don't
so fine.
I'm not into it. I think Sierra is like hit or miss.
Oh,
And
okay.
this
This
is
was
a
a miss
miss,
for you.
especially if we're again not to reignite feuds between people.
Oh.
But I mean like Rihanna, that look was so strong and then that very meh. Like we're at different
Very meh.
events.
Okay, fine. Anyway,
So
not
it's like
liking
a two
that.
for me.
Oh,
Sorry. And I'm not gonna name names
I'm not gonna let you sway me.
because they
I do
good.
think
No, don't
it's a
be
6.
swayed.
It's a 6 for me. I
Okay.
like it. I like the
Hmm.
whole look.
Well,
So
somebody's got to like it. And certainly she did because she, went out and got photographed. That
she
was her
did.
choice. As always, we have this week's top stories you need to know about. The first thing you and I are deeply invested. This is a story about the kinds of jeans that we ought to be wearing. This is from
Hmm.
The Guardian. The headline
Yeah.
is Baggy, Skinny, or Neither. Why a
Or
Goldilocks
neither.
jeans are having a moment. What say you about this
I mean,
concept and then where we're at jeans wise?
I couldn't really like drill down into what exactly the Goldilocks pant was, and I was seeking that information. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to know,
Hmm.
and I I don't. I what I deciphered is it's basically a straight leg,
It is a
so
straight cut. Yeah. Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
straight cut.
Hmm.
And I think pants and jeans are all over the board right now. I know that
Yes.
there's some trending. Yes, we've got barrel. Yes, we've got
Hmm.
super, super baggy. Yes,
Hmm.
we've got ripped. Yes, we've got boot cut. We've got
Hmm.
slim. We've got skinny. Why do we have so many options, right?
That's the question. And I think that that's what the Goldilocks slash straight leg gives you because
Yes.
you can not have all of the, you could just go with, or you can have all of the options. I feel like I'm sick to death of this. Like
I feel
what I
like,
understand, skinny is back. I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
but should it
But
be
sometimes
back?
yes, because I don't know. It's got to be the whole look. You can't just like choose a pant
Yes,
and then
correct.
the top has
Yes,
to go with the pant,
yes,
and
yes.
like you got to do
Could
the
not agree
thing.
more.
Like it can't.
Could not. If you
So
only have skinny jeans, you're fucked.
you are
Nobody should be doing that
fucked.
in this day and age. And I think, unfortunately, there are a lot of men who have now gone only
Ooh,
into that. Like they just, oh, that's all they got.
you're
Skinny, skinny,
right.
skinny.
Right, right,
And
right.
it looks like garbage,
Fucked. It
like
looks
those little
fucked.
weird pin legs. That just doesn't work. But for a lot of others, a skinny jean, a skinny pant makes a ton of sense. But I do
Yeah.
think, generally speaking, a straight leg is good for everyone. I
I
like a
think it's good
straight
for
leg.
everyone. I like a straight leg with like just the perfect length heel. So
Hmm.
it cuts right at the end of the right where the heel starts. And it's just
Hmm.
like a total streamline look.
Hmm.
That's how
Nice and
I'm wearing my Goldilocks jeans.
stacked, as the kids say.
Stacked.
I know, I like that look. I'm pro straight leg jean. I like a barrel for the right person. But yeah, there's
Not
so
this
much
girl. Not
not
this
for you.
girl.
No, and
No.
that's fine. And
And I
that's
bought some, but then I was like, whoa, whoop,
return.
boop, nope.
I mean, again, to each their own, but I think that's the important thing. Like find something that works for you,
Yes,
for your shape, and then just wear that and it doesn't fucking matter about what people are saying.
exactly.
Because
Wear
that's the whole
what
thing,
works for
right?
your body
Well,
because we
that's
have
the whole
all the
right.
options. Like you
Ex
just choose one or choose all of them.
choose,
Just make sure you have the
choose.
right top and shoes with it. You know what
Exactly.
I always go back to is, back in my heyday,
Hmm.
which was the early 2000s, let's just
Hmm.
say, post college. It was the Jessica Simpson era.
Hmm.
And, I've never met a high-waisted boot cut pant that I didn't love.
That was your thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
legs up to here,
Yeah.
the
She
highest heels you
loved the
can
highway.
have,
Yep. 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 A
and
big ass platform shoe,
just a
a
big ass
bell.
shoe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I did it. I did it often. Hmm.
Yeah. I just remember. So for guys, it was like the not Jinko, like they were straight cut, but they were
Ooh.
big. They were big.
Ugh.
And Hollister, and so like then there were like holes in them, and you just like, yeah. And then girls, I think it was more like the super low cut, like the Britney
Oh, that was
Spears,
this area. Yeah,
where it
I
was
did.
just
Yeah,
the
that was
high
the thing
cut.
too.
I think more flattering. The highway. Jessica Simpson, she sort of sorted out the jeans, I
She
think,
did.
differently.
I
And
think she
yeah,
still wears the same jeans.
she may, but they're back again. So that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do
this
you,
is yeah, a PSA for
people?
buy what the hell that works for your body and do that and then tell everybody to shut the fuck up. Especially the editors that are writing about they're back. They're always back. Just
Slow news day. They didn't leave.
yeah,
Okay.
put stuff on your body that fits. Great.
Let's do
All
it.
right. Another controversial story that came across our desk, which like flies in the face of things that I have been told by pros.
Yeah.
Apparently, InStyle found some celebrity hairstylists. I won't name them because I
Okay.
don't. I mean, I'm not going there. Um, that say that coconut oil is key to a healthy scalp and shiny hair. Which,
Hmm.
huh,
Gee, I don't
huh,
know.
huh.
I think it actually clogs your follicles. Wouldn't you
Well,
assume that? I mean,
this is what people say.
okay.
And we don't like that for a lot of reasons. And the buildup can cause I will say to their credit, these nameless hairstylists that are very, very talented and have incredible clients, that they're saying you got to wash it out. So they're not saying to
Oh,
leave it in
yes.
forever.
No,
But
no.
I'm saying there are people that don't. And so
That's
this is a little bit of a,
tragedy. That's bad
um,
stuff. They're also saying that it can balance an irritated scalp, which I
mhm.
understand too. I mean, but I would think the coconut oil would be for nourishing your hair, not your scalp. I'm not
Mhm.
doing
Well,
that
because people put
because
it on their skin topically, I get that, and so you think like scalp, skin. I get, I understand, but again, not what I've heard. So I would like other pros to weigh in.
Yeah,
Where do you
let's weigh
stand on
in.
this coconut
Mm,
oil issue? Do you find we'll include the link in the show notes so you can see who we're talking about and what we're saying, what they're saying in
okay.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this doesn't sit well with me,
No.
I think.
And let's support
Um,
our pros and our pro brands. Like we don't need to support the coconut oil industry, do we?
no, I think that they're doing just fine.
I
Like
think
use it for cooking, use it for whatever the hell
it's
else, but like
flying
people
off
are
the
consuming
shelf.
it.
Like
I
we're
just
good.
it's just like especially all of this like natural and don't do it. Like
No,
perhaps if done very, very appropriately, but I fear, people are just gonna gloss right over the make sure
literally.
you wash it out. Literally. Yeah, don't do this. I remember very definitively I was at BeautyCon
Oh,
many years
wow.
ago.
Throwback.
I think
Yeah.
maybe the second one. I don't know if it was the first one. It might have been the first. I was with a brand. There was a celebrity MC
Okay.
who at the time was platinum blonde, like super,
Okay.
super white. And she was talking with a color expert who said that you should never put coconut oil on your blonde hair. It will strip your toner right
Oh,
off, just right off. And then you'll be
whoa.
back to brassy like quicker than blah, blah, blah. And
Mm,
I remember the look of panic and then she was like, "Oh my God, I do it all the time. I do it. That's why." And so again,
what?
this is like many years ago.
Yeah,
And so like I just this worries me. Don't
this
do it.
worries me. Let's weigh in, pros. Please let us know where we're
Hmm
at.
hmm
Okay, moving on. Today we're joined by Jennifer Alvarez, a licensed cosmetologist, educator, and the founder of Refined Beauty, a two-time award-winning seven-figure salon and spa. Jennifer built her business from the ground up and has since shifted her focus to helping other salon owners grow sustainable, profitable businesses without burnout. Through her coaching, education programs, and the Beauty Business Game Changer podcast, she empowers beauty pros to streamline their operations, build strong teams, and truly thrive in their careers. Can't wait for this one. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Teas and send in questions to volume up at theteas.com.
But before we get to the interview, let's talk Tease Beauty News. This first one shook me a little bit.
Okay.
'Cause- Yeah.
Hmm.
The title is Sabrina Carpenter's fragrance line now has bite-sized versions.
Hmm.
Did you know that Sabrina Carpenter has a fragrance line?
No, sir. No,
I
sir.
didn't. I didn't. She does. And the brand
Okay.
just
And
launched
now they're tiny.
that yeah, exactly. They just launched literal bite-sized versions of its beloved chocolate-inspired fragrances at Ulta. Kind of the perfect way to
Hmm.
take a bite out of chocolate without actually taking a bite of chocolate. Again, during
Is
this
it?
holiday season. I mean,
Oh,
if you're into smelling like chocolate, yes.
no, I'm not.
Okay, well, this is not for you. Not only are the scents called Sweet Tooth, Caramel Dream, Cherry Baby, and Me Espresso,
Hmm.
obviously,
No.
bite-sized, but they're shaped like actual chocolate bars. Each scent is a decadent blend of creamy gourmand notes, all with hints of chocolate, no sugar crash. These fun sizes are perfect for gifting or for trying all. They're obviously compact and travel friendly. But you got to the heart of the matter, which is like you're not into
No.
this. But
Absolutely not.
if I,
Do
so
you want to
this
smell like, I mean, I think maybe like you're
I don't. Of
maybe
course not. No. I don't
a
want to at
girlies. I
all.
don't know.
No, I don't. This does not appeal to me in the least, but I do appreciate the brand play. Like, I
For
do
sure.
think if
Yes.
you look at these products, like, yeah, this makes sense for Sabrina Carpenter. But I will say, never knew that she had a fragrance line. So
Yeah.
what are we doing? She's got a Redken deal. I knew that. We all know that.
She does. Yes, she
But
does.
are we talking about these bite-sized fragrances on our channels?
Here's what I think. So they're at Ulta, right?
They
Okay,
are,
here's what I
yes.
think. So they're at Ulta, and Ulta gets you. So does Sephora. So you're standing in line, which I believe is an intentional line. I believe that there's not enough people on purpose because you have the option of picking up like 40 to 50 different things while standing in said line. And so I'm thinking like somebody's like, well, this is a cute stocking stuffer.
Yes. I mean, it
I mean,
is.
well
It
played.
is.
Well
For
played
like the
marketing. Got
tween
it.
girl, like,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. I don't have
For
any of those in my life, but
yeah.
absolutely
But you can imagine that they'd like it,
they
and
would
that's
like it.
that. Yeah, not for us, but for them, for sure.
Yes.
Obviously more info in the teas. You can see pictures of what these little bottles, they're not bottles. It's weird. It's
I mean, it's
weird.
cute.
It's cute. It's
No?
cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right, next up, what to know about Wall's small and mighty Vanquish compact dryer. We love the team over at Wall. And now they have a new Vanquish compact dryer, as noted. It's setting the standard for lightweight tools that work just as hard as you do behind the chair. The Vanquish Compact is ultralight and, thanks to the latest technology, manages to deliver controlled airflow and efficient power for fast, even hair drying. It's small in stature, but big on performance. Barbers and men's groomers, head over to the.com for more information. It's so interesting. The dryer category has had so much innovation over the
Insane.
last how many years? I
Insane.
mean, I love that they're compact. I love that we're thinking about ergonomics. We're
Mhm.
thinking about our pros and barbers and teams that are using these consistently. I think UCB brought up the big old dryer back in the day, and it's
Huge.
like,
Yep.
wow, what is that doing to your body? So go Wall. Yeah.
Go Wall. This dryer weighs less than some of their newer clippers, which is crazy.
Wow.
So I mean, like we're really talking about this is the future. I couldn't be more excited. Just like you said, that there's innovation in this space, which had not really evolved tremendously.
No.
And this is
Right?
not a Dyson price point. So I think that that's the other thing
Yeah.
to say. Like we don't have to spend $700 as a pro to get top quality tools. So there's
Love
that.
that. All right.
Thank you so much to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these on thetease.com.
Now stay tuned for our interview with Jennifer.
With a specialty in hair extensions, bridal services, and creating a business Jennifer is passionate about, she has scaled a seven-figure salon from the ground up. Along the way, she learned what it takes to grow sustainably, even through the toughest of challenges. Now she's dedicated to helping salon owners like you build a profitable, resilient business. Her mission is to share clear, effective strategies so others can streamline operations, grow their team, and boost profits without it being overwhelming. She's been a licensed cosmetologist since 2002, and like many in the beauty industry, her journey started with a passion, but was filled with plenty of doubt, trial and error, and moments of, is this really sustainable? Early on, she struggled with self-worth, lack of direction, and not having the right tools or guidance to succeed. But through relentless commitment to education, mentorship, and learning from her failures, she built the business and life she once only dreamed of. Today, she's proud to say that she is the founder of a two-time award-winning seven-figure salon and spa, retired from behind the chair as of 2023, and now owns the building her business operates in. But none of this came easy, and that's why she's passionate about helping other salon owners fast-track their own success. She personally invested over $100,000 in professional development, business coaching, and technical education, from advanced training at the Redken Exchange in New York City to the Vidal Sassoon Academy in London, working with celebrity artists and some of the top business minds in the industry. She's won national photo competitions, received the Leo Passage Award, and built a thriving bridal brand and education platform along the way. But what is she most proud of? Helping other salon owners and service-based entrepreneurs break free from burnout, confusion, and plateaued growth, and start building a business and create a beautiful lifestyle through a beauty career. Through her coaching, mentorship programs, and the Beauty Business Game Changer podcast, she teaches proven systems, strategies, and real-world tools that simplify the process and accelerate others' growth without sacrificing their passion or their peace. Whether they're just starting out, scaling their current salon, or completely reinventing their business, she's here to show them it's possible. Jennifer, welcome to Volume Up. How's it going?
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it. This is going to be a great day today.
I am very excited to get into it with you. Look, we're going to start at the top. This is what we do with all of our guests. We ask them how they got into beauty and hair. What was it for you?
Well, for me, I knew that I wanted to get into the industry when I was in junior high, but also because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And I also didn't feel like I was smart enough to earn a scholarship to go to college because we were broke. And I was also in the shadow of my sister's footsteps as she was valedictorian.
Oh, damn.
I definitely was not. So
Okay.
I actually went to a trade school during high school, which was so great because this is, I think it's kind of funny looking back now, knowing how expensive school is, but we paid $500 for myself to go to school. And
Whoa.
that was such a godsend because we didn't have any money. We were a large family on one income. And
Mm.
so it was actually a great thing that happened. And I really excelled at school back in 2000, so obviously 25 years ago. And I was the student of the year. I excelled at it. And so I knew it was the right thing to do and been licensed and really hit the ground running since then.
Wow, wow. We love vocational programs. Wish that there were more of them. This has come up a couple of times on the pod, so I'm so glad you spoke to this. I'm so glad that you were able to take advantage of it. Wish that there were more of these programs throughout the states, because they are so incredible, particularly when, income is something to deal with, as it is for so many of us. Talk to me about the beginning when you were first licensed. What was that like? Were you at all prepared for what that entailed to be a licensed cosmetologist or not?
Oh my God, Jeffrey. Okay, no, because was what, 18?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Very immature and definitely my party mode phase throughout
Fair.
my entire 20s. And I bounced around from salon to salon because I
Mm,
really was not clear on what I wanted to do with this career.
mm,
And growing up in a very, very small town, poor, I didn't know what I was capable of. I didn't know what the possibilities were. But I knew that I wanted to get out of the town that I was
mm,
in. So in 2005, I had to get out of an abusive relationship. And I ended up going about an hour and a half away from my town. And it was Wheaton, it was just west of Chicago. And I'm like, wow, these people look good. They got money. And I found a place that offered continuing education, and I got out of the abusive relationship and realized there's something here. There's
mm.
something way bigger than I ever even thought. And
Ah.
so, yeah, that was like a good turning point for me in my career to realize I got to buckle down. I got to get serious here.
Well, I'm so sorry that you experienced that. And am encouraged to hear that you sort of got yourself out of the situation and started imagining a different possibility for yourself. Uh, when you were thinking about this like newness that was afforded to you, when were you starting to think like maybe I want to be a little bit more entrepreneurial? When was like the spark for that entrepreneurialism, where you sort of awakened this like maybe I could be a business person, because I feel like that's not for everybody.
It really evolved into that because I was so hungry for, like, once I got a taste of there's more to your career here,
Hmm.
I was exposed to a lot of great mentors and became a platform artist, got into education and mentoring. And it wasn't until maybe around 2012 that I started to think, maybe I want to start my own business. And I did approach my boss at the time and I said, I think I might want to do this.
Hmm.
And so I started to take classes at the local college about business ownership. And I just started to take a chance on myself. But I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, maybe a little ADD, and I'm
Yeah.
like, squirrel, everything sounded interesting to me.
Mm.
And so in 2012, when I started taking these classes, and it was actually really the pivotal moment here was when a client came in for hair extensions with me,
Mm.
and she goes, "Do you do weddings?" And I'm like, "Sure. Yeah, I could do updos, I can do makeup." She's like, "Perfect. I'm gonna fly you out to California to Catalina Island. You're gonna do this entire wedding party for us." And I'm like,
Oh.
okay. So me and my husband, but my boyfriend at the time, um, we went to Catalina Island. I did this huge wedding, walked away with some good cash and an amazing vacation. I'm like, holy cow, like there is something here. And that's when I launched a bridal company.
Wow. I mean, talk about taking a risk and it paying off in a big way. Also, Catalina is beautiful. So, like, what a way to get into that business. Like, hard to top that experience, I would imagine. Talk to me a little bit about things that you've learned along the way when you started to take this business on for yourself.
Oh my God, I don't even know where to start with that because, you
Let's keep
know,
it top level because we got a lot of questions for you.
oh
Like
gosh.
big picture. You're expanding your
Mm.
business now into bridal. What did you learn about yourself when you opened yourself up to that aspect?
I can't do it all. I
Mm,
cannot wear all the hats and excel at it.
okay.
And I needed to let go of control and allow space for other people to come in to help me grow a business. And there's a motto that I really love, and I still adopt and believe in this to be true, is that you need to build the people, and the people will build the business. And
Mm,
so that was really the key to the growth of where we are today of our business is allowing the platform and opportunity for other people to shine. Because now it's not about me anymore. It's about all the
mm.
other people that we can make an impact on.
Well, in the beginning, it certainly was. I mean, you were the person that needed to be built, and you invested a lot in yourself in terms of additional education, ongoing, continuing, um, to the order of, 100K. So what was the most transformative investment? If you can like think about it, when you add all of this up, like what was the one thing maybe that made the biggest difference? Or a couple of things.
It was really a couple of different things and opportunities. There is the education is very different from a technical position versus business. And
Hmm.
so when I technically was investing in my education, I finally got a scholarship to go to the Vidal Sassoon Academy in London.
Yes.
And that was a
Huge.
huge opportunity and an eye awakening to the art of hairdressing, in addition to several thousands of dollars of investment in hair extensions.
Mm.
Bridal and hair extensions have always been my passion technically. And that was very impactful of how I can help other artists grow. Investing in my own in business education, gosh, I don't know if I could name one thing specifically, but I will say when I launched and started to hire people and get going into the business, I quickly realized it is way beyond the chair. It's way beyond technical skills, and I need to hone in on how to actually grow a business.
So real.
And like there's a lot of things where you have to understand that life happens for you, not to you.
Mm.
And during the pandemic, when I first opened my salon in 2019, we had to close it a few months later. I,
Oof.
to myself, yeah, as much chaos that the entire world was going on, I was like, oh my gosh, now I have time. I'm going to learn marketing. I'm going to learn business. And I invested in $10,000 right away and said, I'm going to learn Facebook ads. I'm going to learn my website. I'm going to learn offers and marketing. And that really began a new passion for technology and business
Mm.
that really has brought in and expanded my mind to new things. So, in the moment of devastation of closing your brand new business and the entire world going up in shambles, I took this opportunity to say, I'm going to learn something new and I'm going to make something of it.
Wow. Wow. I'm taken aback because this is not necessarily the traditional path. And having the wherewithal to pull yourself up and use this time to sort of redirect efforts and sort of enrich skills. Again, not what everybody's about. There's a certain amount of drive that's required. Um,
Mm.
how do you find others that are sort of willing to do that with you? I mean, you talked about building people and that being key to building a business. What are ways that people can go about sort of seeking others that are interested in that sort of growth mindset or being open to being built, as it were?
So, as far as like recruiting my team,
Hmm.
it is a huge challenge, and it's a challenge for not just salon owners, but businesses in general
Hmm.
to be able to find people who are hungry and humble and kind, and they believe in your vision. And I am definitely the type of person that I want to give you the benefit of doubt. I see your potential, and sometimes I default to, I want something greater and more for you than you might want that for yourself. And I maybe I'm just wired that way because I look back to how I grew up of, man, I really wish someone would have grabbed me
Mm.
younger when I was so naive and dumb and did stupid things and said, like, Jennifer Alvarez, like, you can do so much more with your life. Like, what are you doing? And so I think that because of those trials and tribulations, I look for people of characteristic. That's something I can't teach. I
Mm.
can teach you how to do great hair. I can do makeup, extensions. I can teach you how to make six figures behind the chair. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'm confident in that. But if you don't have the willingness to be coached, if you don't have the desire to want more, that's
Mm.
something that I cannot teach you. And so in recruiting, in interviewing, only look for characteristic. Only look for that personality, and everything else will fall into place if you have that in alignment.
Mm, I've heard this from a few pros before, that it's really like coming down to some of the soft stuff, because the hard things can be taught as you're describing. I'm curious. So you you alluded to sort of squirrel brain, ADHD. You're doing a lot of different things, and you said at one point you knew you had to step away from the chair. Talk to me about what that looked like for you when you were like, I'm gonna stop, but I want my business to be bigger and I want to build the people. But I mean, that's a lot for some people. Like they really, it's so part and parcel of their self to do hair physically. Um, so how was that transition to step away from being behind the chair?
It was a identity crisis.
I had a feeling.
However, I just was not doing good at anything. You know,
Okay.
it's if you're spread too thin, you're falling short on so many things. I was
Mm,
disappointing clients, I was disappointing my team, and I would say at the very beginning of me growing the business, I knew that I didn't want to be held captive to my business. Like, I don't want to live just to have this thing. I want this
mm.
machine, this business to help me build a lifestyle. And
So important.
but I didn't know that I would step away from the chair. But when I was so busy, frustrated because the phones were ringing, clients needed things, and the team was like either not busy or looking for to me for help, I realized, what am I doing? I'm like robbing my new employees of the opportunity to earn money,
Hmm.
and I'm not serving my clients to the fullest. And I thought, I can't do this. So I didn't just rip the band-aid off. I did give myself a good runway of time so that I could financially be secure and confident that I could step away from the chair and know that my business would survive without me being the service provider, which was key. And when I did retire behind the chair, August of 2023, there was a few months that I was like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
who am I in this world anymore? Not a hairdresser. And so I had to figure out, what does it look like to be a leader and a
Mhm.
visionary? And how do I take my business to the next level and think beyond myself? And that's been quite a journey in itself.
I think this is a beautiful segue into some more specificity. We want to talk about refined beauty. When did you know that you wanted to open up your own salon? Because I think, again, there are certain tracks that people sort of go into, and salon ownership is not for everyone for a lot of reasons. You said, you had a boss, you were talking to them about it at one point, but when was the moment where you're like, I'm going to do this for myself, I'm going to have my own concepts? I'd love to hear about that because I can only imagine.
Yeah, so, I think there was a lot of self-worth and doubt that has kind of haunted me for a long time.
Mm.
And I didn't go out on my own right away. even though I approached my boss in around 2012 to say, I want to open my own business. And I always, was involved with the company, creative director,
Hmm.
mentor, educator, any volunteer opportunities, I was there. Like I'm the go-to person. I wanted to be the face of the company because I really believed in it, and I always wanted a seat at the table. Yet I never felt like I was welcomed,
Mm.
and it's okay because it was a family business. And again, life is happening for you, not to you.
Yeah.
And so when I realized that there was a lot of friction and we were butting heads of my vision of what I wanted and what direction they were going didn't align, it was 2016 and I said, I'm done. I'm done.
Mm.
And I did not have a salon. I actually was like, it was devastating to me at the moment. I think that I laid on the couch and cried for about a week straight before my
Mm.
husband was like, you got to do something with yourself. And
Mm.
I saw a salon suite down the street
Hmm.
and signed the papers. And I started Refine Beauty in 2016. 6 months later, I started to hire employees because I said, I don't like to be by myself. I love teaching and I love helping other people. And it was very isolating.
Mm.
And that's really how Refine Beauty opened.
Talk to me from your POV. What are the points of differentiate? Like, how is your concept different from, again, your bosses? Like, when you knew you were butting heads, you saw things differently. How do you see things? How would you describe what refined beauty is about?
You know, my belief is that I don't want anyone to feel like there's a glass ceiling. In a employee-based business and the conversation around what is your business model? How do you pay people?
Hmm.
There's so many artists that are so fixed on, well, what percentage do I have? And my thought process is, I'll give you 100%. When you do zero, you still get zero. So let's have a better conversation.
Mm.
So I really want to transform that mindset and conversation around of this is a partnership to me. Yes, you're an employee, but I really believe in a partnership because I'm marketing you. I'm
Hmm.
investing in your education. I'm mentoring you. And my belief is that if you want more, let's just make the pie bigger and let's just not stop there because we can really take this to another level if you're willing and able to do that. And I think that's what the biggest difference from my company from others because
Mm.
I live in thankfully a very great neighborhood. I want to say it's the number two neighborhood to live in the whole US. So
Not bad.
not bad. Moving on up, small country mouse here.
Yeah.
Um, and I really want, there's over 200 salons in my area. They're
Hmm.
all great. They do
Hmm.
great services. There's a lot of talent, and there's enough business to go around for everybody to be successful. But I think the biggest challenge that most business owners face is making sure that they are really valuing their people to understand this is a partnership in business.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, this is just business.
Mm. Period. Important to deal with that one. Unpacking it, can be a little bit tough. When did you know that this was a thing that was going to really work, to the tune of seven figures? Like, how did you know, like, oh, damn, this is going successfully. I've got this under control, and I can make this a little bit more systematic. Talk to me a little bit about processes that you put in place, that helped you from a growth perspective.
It was really when I made that decision to retire behind the chair
Hmm.
that our business actually grew. And I was so scared too. And I was I was afraid that I would fail.
Mm.
And one of most people have this fear of not just failing, but to fail in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And my thought process was, I will not go back to the chair because to me that felt like failing. And I
Mm.
wanted to make sure that this would work. And I
Mm.
actually surprised myself when I stepped away and had other people step in to help out with systems and help out with communication and be the service providers and just be a little bit more hands off, how well that they did without me.
Mm.
And when we saw that revenue grow, that's when I knew, oh my gosh, like I should have done this a long time ago. Like this is it. This is what leadership is about. This is about creating the machine
Hmm.
and building up the people and the people will build the machine.
Hmm.
Creating systems has been, I think so many companies will say, we don't want to be corporate like.
Uh-huh.
Well, sorry, you're going to face a lot of problems if you don't have a system in place. And
Mm.
you don't have to start. I was just coaching someone the other day, and she was so afraid that she was going to make a mistake and that she needed to prepare her entire like handbook and all these systems. And I said, you will make mistakes
Mm.
and be okay with that. The biggest thing though is that every time you run into something, document it, create a system around it, and put it into place.
Mm.
Otherwise, life will always repeat the lesson until you learn it. And so, even today, I even today we had to create another SOP
Mm.
because something came up that I'm like, well, I didn't think that we'd ever deal
Yeah.
with that.
But we are.
But here we
Let's
are.
document it.
But that's definitely been huge of like developing the systems over time. And
Mm.
sometimes when you run into mistakes, always have the mindset of how do we fix this? What do we do from it? And let's just move on.
So speaking of mistakes, and there's going to be millions of them, and I think that's important. Like, and I'm glad you're saying it because you are someone who has been successful in this space that is coaching actively. There's a certain amount of error that's going to happen. What are like the most common mistakes that salon owners make from your POV? What is like the glaringest thing where you're like, "Ugh, I wish they wouldn't do that. What is it?
A few things. One is making sure that you are legally protected. And so
Care to
making sure you
elaborate?
have, yeah, you want to make sure that you have the proper insurances in place,
Hmm?
business owner policy, professional liability, general liability, workers' comp. You also want to make sure to understand what's legal in your state as far as having employees, because employees have a right. And a lot of states favor employees versus your small business,
Hmm.
even though it's contributing to economy, society, they don't care. It's all about the employees.
Hmm.
So you want to make sure that you have all the proper standards and systems in place within the handbook. I suggest making sure to hire an attorney to create your contracts, your
Hmm.
agreements, sitting down with employees, talking to them, having them sign things. Yeah, does it feel corporate? Yeah. I dislike this part about business. You have to have it because you have to protect all of your hard work, blood, sweat,
Mm.
and tears, whatever you put into your business, protect it from people who are just lazy, evil people.
Mm.
And we live in a cruel world. And so I don't care. You want to say I'm corporate, that's fine, but I'm protecting not just myself, but the future of my business and all the ones that show up for the business who truly care. It's about protection. So first and foremost, make sure to have all your ducks in the row in that area. The next area I would say is cash flow. This is a cash flow business, and cash is king. And if you run out of cash, you don't have a business. And
Mhm.
so I suggest understanding your numbers, getting involved with your numbers. And when I say numbers, I'm really talking about cash in and cash out
Mhm.
because I would love to remodel. I would love to decorate. And I would love to hire more people and do
Mhm.
this and that. Your money will tell you what you can and cannot do. And if you don't monitor it, you're going to run into issues. And have I ran into issues? Yes, I have.
Mhm.
So I don't sit here preaching as if I have not been through it.
Yeah.
And this is definitely an area where a lot of service providers who turn to business owners they ignore this area because it may not be their forte. And that
Hmm.
was me too. I mean, I was not good in school. Math was not my thing. I was good at art class
Hmm.
and PE. You have to take the time, do your due diligence, and know enough to be dangerous. But you don't have to know everything. You just have to hire someone to help you make better data-driven decisions.
I'm loving this, and that hits right with me for someone who's not terribly good with the numbers either. You got to have somebody in your camp that is good with them. Then, uh, so I think that one in particular resonates with me, and I'm sure with some of our listeners. One thing that you've done, which does protect your business, is that you actually own the building that your salon operates in. Talk to me about what that was like, because again, it's one thing to be a business owner. But if you are leasing, like there's not a ton of control ultimately. So talk to me about that decision.
Well, I was in the salon suite in 2016, started to hire people. We
Hmm.
were busting at the seams as I was trying to hire people to work in a less than a 200 square foot space. We were like, just sit on my lap. I'll cut your hair here.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Um, so I was looking for real estate and there was just not a lot available. And one of the things that I was researching and studying because knowledge is power, I
Mhm.
needed to understand what does triple net mean? Like, what is this CAM? I really needed to understand what was all involved when it came to renting a space.
Mhm.
And this is when just started getting into podcasts and listening to experts or people who have experience. And some of the stories and conversations around real estate, I was like, this is kind of scary. People were getting kicked out or
Mhm.
evicted from the place that they were renting their business from because they didn't have proper lease agreement. So, with that being said, I knew that if I could have the opportunity to buy something, I would have total control,
Mhm.
besides my property taxes.
Mhm.
And I looked around, no joke, for like 2.5 years.
Mm.
And I was starting to lose hope of maybe this isn't my future. I don't know.
Mhm.
But nothing is coming up. And I looked at space after space. I even had a letter of intents in. I had contractors in place that already went through and told me what I needed to do to develop a salon business because plumbing and electric are going to be the most costly.
Mhm.
And I was thinking, I'm going to spend how much money fixing this place up for someone else?
Mhm.
Yes, we would be conducting business there. So I was just randomly, we were driving by, I think we were on our way to church or something, and I passed the salon that had a huge sign in the front. It was for lease. And when I approached them, they said, no, we don't, we would like a dentist office here or a medical. And I
Oh.
said, please hear me out. Give me a chance. This space actually was a salon
Mm.
before. So it was already spec'd out for electric and plumbing,
Mm.
needed some TLC. And I said, can I have the first right of refusal to buy this place? And 2 years later, after I was renting it, they sold it to me. And
Mm.
I was able to lock in at a pretty good interest rate at the time as well. And when you can diversify your portfolio, which by having a few multiple businesses, having some real estate, even having some investments in the stock market, you want to set up financially yourself for success. And that's kind of that's what my mindset was around that.
Perfect, perfect. I feel like this is such an important thing for people to hear, whether or not they actually do it, because, this is something to consider. If you really want control in the way that you have gotten it for yourself, like this is definitely real estate is one way to go about doing that. Another thing that you talked about a couple of times here in our short conversation is mentorship and like what a difference that it can make for other professionals. From your end. like who were key mentors along the way? You can name names, you don't have to name names. But I feel like it is important for others, particularly baby stylists, baby pros, to hear like you gotta search out mentors. But what did it look like in your journey?
I thankfully have always had mentors, and I never really understood what that meant until people started to share their wisdom and knowledge with me
Hmm.
that no one ever had before of mindset or technical skills or business. But the more I started to rub elbows with people who I aspired to be like,
Hmm.
the more I was hungry and like thirsty for that. And so, a few of my mentors at a younger age, Luis Alvarez, at the time, he was the creative director for Aquage. This was way before, for all the babies out there, this was way before Alta had anything to do with them. And I mean, his mentorship from not just a technical perspective, but the appreciation of the beauty industry and how you could just look at hair in a way that was artistic. It was just so beautiful how he spoke about it. And all the people involved in that group as well, especially around 2005 through 2000, I don't even know. It was a long time ago. Anyways, I'm dating myself here. Just having mentors like him was just so instrumental from a technical standpoint. I mean, he was a celebrity artist doing covers of magazines,
Hmm.
not just for the beauty industry, but the fashion world as well, for Vogue, along with the other people who were involved with that company. Makeup artists that I have been so blessed to be able to learn from. You have to be hungry and curious. And the more that help that I received as well, the more I realized how much I also wanted to help other people. So as much as you are like, you should be giving, give, and then receive. At the time at my younger age, I needed to take because I didn't have anything really to give because I didn't know. But I definitely am on the opposite end of that. I gotta give more. But having a mentor that is willing to allow you to just let you follow them around, find that person, find someone who you can gravitate to that you aspire. And you know the saying of you are the equivalent to the five people you spend the most time with. So be very careful. And this was a huge lesson to myself because of all of the surroundings of people who I was surrounding myself with
Hmm.
that got me in a lot of trouble, a lot of bad relationships. And, I realized, oh, okay, birds of a feather flock together. If I don't want to be that person anymore and get into trouble and just not be a good person, I need to find a better crowd of people. And, being up closer to the Chicagoland area and being exposed to more opportunities was definitely the pivotal moment in mentorship.
And as you said now, at the beginning of your career, you were in a position of needing and taking. Now you're in a very different position in life, and you are able to give. And some of the services you offer are business coaching and mentorship. So talk to me about when you knew you were going to make this a more official hustle. Because again, you're doing all sorts of things. Salon owner. When did this come about for you? And how do people get involved? If they want to be coached by you, how the hell do they do it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I originally started mentoring hairstylists. How do you
Hmm.
cut hair? How do you do extensions? How do you do makeup? How do you do updos? And when I started my business and opened up the salon to hire more people in 2019,
Hmm.
I was really inspired by Gary Vee to start a podcast myself, The Beauty Business Game Changer.
Yep.
And because I just feel like I've got something I want to share. I don't know if it's good or who will listen, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And that's when I realized I really love talking about business
Mm.
because now it is beyond like hair extensions and the technical skills, we have to understand like if I was making six figures, $100,000 plus behind the chair, and mind you, I grew up in a poor house in the country, and I never knew that that was possible.
Hmm.
And so we needed to shine more awareness and light of like, how do you do it? Because it really is an 80-20 rule. You need business skills. And so also in 2020, when the salon was shut down, and I learned from other people, mind you, right? This was my first 10,000 that I spent to
Yeah.
learn Facebook ads, how to use Google, websites, how to create offers. That's when I started to say, I really want to do this. I want to mentor and I want to coach other people who want to start a salon or grow a salon. And because I've done the work and because I've made multiple mistakes, learned from them, grew from it, and carried on, it's something that I'm wanting and I love to share with other people. And so I have a group coaching that you can work with other salon owners as well. But my main goal is to really help shine light into an area that is not the first language of most hairstylists who become salon owners, which is technical skills.
Mm.
Or, I'm sorry, not technical, technology. How to incorporate technology into your company, how to develop systems. How do you understand the whole ecosystem that makes your business a well-oiled machine? I myself still I have a mentor that I work with. I always have mentors. And
Mhm.
now I take that information that I've spent a hell of a lot of money on that I can now share with other salon owners and bring it to a level that is digestible information so that
Mm.
you can implement it and I can hold you accountable to that.
So, talk to me about accountability. What does that look like if someone is being coached by you? They're a mentee. Accountability, discipline. How does this work? What's your sort of POV on that?
Well, and this can be a little bit frustrating because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Uh-huh.
And so what's important, and there's been many of times where I just felt like I was drinking water from the fire hydrant
Hmm.
and it was just so much information. And we can easily get so overwhelmed. We're like, all
Hmm.
right, well, what do I do with that? And I have always been a student for life, curious and just hungry for knowledge and information. I want to be the best that I can be. But what good is that information if you don't do anything with it? And this is
Mm.
where coaching is so important to have a mentor, not just to show you how, but to make sure you're actually doing something with it. So when you are learning with me, I always ask you, what's your biggest takeaway? What are you going to do with it? And I'm going to check on you next week because you said that you're going to have this done.
Hmm.
And sometimes you need someone to just say like, "Hey, how is your social media going? How is creation of this SOP? How has recruiting going for you? What do you need help in?" And to be able to have someone else chime in to say, "You said that you wanted to hire one person, but yet you have done nothing."
So how are you gonna hire him?
So, this is where coaching is just so important, I think, from, you can buy a course. There is areas where you can read and you can learn. I mean, you can ask Chat GPT.
Yeah.
But if you don't have somebody to help like handhold you through some of the steps, sometimes we procrastinate.
Hmm.
We feel procrastination, analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Because it's so much information and newness, we don't always know where to start with all of
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
that's where I come in. That's where I can help people make the decision of sequence. What do you do first? Because most people say, how do I get started? And that's where I can help.
Mm. Tell me about a success story. What is like a really sort of noteworthy and outstanding example of like where this has really just worked beautifully?
A success story of a client.
Yes, coaching. Yep.
Yeah. So I would say one of my clients who was on the fence of like opening and not for sure the location, what that should
Hmm.
look like. And to be able to help her create a business plan and clarity of what this big vision looked like. And mind you, this was back in 2021, and now she's looking at expanding. And to
Hell yeah.
me, that has just been so beautiful to help her go through those fear and the mindset. How do I get started? What do I work on first? How do I create a business plan? So often we will default to the things that feel comfortable, such as this is what the stations look like. Here's what my logo looks like, or my colors. Yeah, that's important, but at the grand scheme of things, we have to understand, how do you create a handbook and what does hiring look like and all of the details that are not the most fun, but they make a functional, successful, profitable business. And to be able to help walk through those things with my clients, that to me is just so priceless. To be
Ah,
able to help and expand, like making more impact into the beauty industry is just so cool.
well, if someone who's listening to this pod is interested in getting better acquainted with you, with your work, let's first plug the podcast more formally. So, Beauty Business Game Changer podcast. Where can people find that? Because this is something. It's the easiest touch point. It's nice and free. People can listen to it, get familiar with you. But where can they find that?
On all podcast channels. So Apple,
Easy.
Spotify, wherever you're listening to. Yeah, Beauty Business Game Changer podcast. I'm sure just like you, Jeffrey, like just share stories of success stories, and the trials and tribulations. Let's be real. Like this has
Mhm.
not been an easy process. Business is not easy. Having employees is not easy. And, it takes a lot of grit, and I think that's important to help and share with other people these stories to inspire and create vision of like what could be for your life. That's why I love doing these podcasts, and thank you again for
Oh my God.
having me, giving me the opportunity to share with your audience. I'm just so thankful.
Oh no, we're thrilled to have you here. We don't really get into the business enough, and this is, I think, so important. And so I'm just thrilled to be able to share this space with you, which is why I'm saying like we want to make sure that they go to your pod, that they listen there, and then if they want to level up and they are interested in coaching, where can they go to
Yeah.
find out how to get in touch with you?
So you can find me on Instagram. I live there. Jennifer Jade Alvarez. I'm in my DMs all the time. So if you're thinking about starting a business or you feel stuck in your salon that you're at right now in your business, just DM me. I'm an open book. There's always going to be a solution,
Hmm.
and failure is not an option. So find a coach, if I'm the right person for you, awesome. I'd love to help you. You can check out my website as well, jenniferjadealvarez.com. You can find more information about coaching opportunities with me. And, just stay connected because I've got a lot of cool things happening in the future that I'm excited to share and just give more to everyone.
I'm still just like thinking about at the beginning of our conversation, you were saying like, sometimes you just got to make the pie bigger. There's plenty of business to go around. There's so much that we can do to help each other. And we are so appreciative of you sort of spearheading that. Before we let you go, we're going to do our quick takes. These are the questions we ask of everybody. Try not to think about it for too long. And then we'll let you get back to building all of your empires, your various businesses. First thing, craziest styling request that you've ever received from a client.
I had a bride who wanted to get a hairstyle that would be somewhat waterproof because after she says I do, she would hop on some skis and jump into the water and get boated away. And I said, I don't think I'm the right fit for you.
What? Did you? Oh, wow,
Nope,
wow, wow. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
didn't
All
do
right,
it.
yeah. Turn it down. That's one that yeah, better to find someone else. Again, plenty of work to go around.
Mm.
What is your go-to song, playlist, or podcast to listen to when you're working, if that's what you're into? Some people are very quiet. They like silence, which is also important. But if you listen to stuff, what are the things you listen to?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Right now, I'm obsessed with Forrest Frank. Need some good Jesus in my life.
Mhm.
And I also really am into Alex Harmozy. He is a genius when it comes to marketing. Um, and if I need to make sure that I am lasered focused and not too distracted, I actually
Mhm.
put on jazz or house music.
You know, again, everybody is a little bit different. This is why we ask. This
Yeah.
can, awaken something in somebody listening. Maybe they want to listen to some EDM or
Yeah.
some jazz to get
Yeah.
some shit done.
EDM or jazz, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Why not? What is a bucket list item that you most want to check off in the next 6 months?
I love to travel and I want to go to Italy and that and possibly expand to a second location.
Okay. Those are big things, both of them.
I
Maybe
got a
Italy is a
I got
little
a
bit
big
easier.
vision board
But yeah,
here.
you would, for sure. But we want both things for you. What is a current social media trend that you just don't understand? You said you're on Instagram all the time. What are you seeing that you just don't get?
What I don't understand?
Yeah, what is a social media trend that's out there where you're just like, what is this? Why are we doing it?
I don't know if I'd say I don't understand. However, I guess when it comes to, here's what I'm not good at. When people do the reels and they do the voiceover,
Mm,
I tried it multiple times. I'm like, I don't have the capacity. I can't remember what this person is saying to save my life to actually
hmm.
recreate these reels. If you
That's
scroll
so
really
real.
far down, you might
Yeah.
find a few that I was like, these suck. I don't like doing this, so I don't.
So I don't. That's perfect. It's not for everybody. That's a lot of work. Last question, and then we'll let you go. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Joy. I think to be present and just feel fulfilled for the rest
Mm,
of my life, that I lack nothing, I need nothing more.
mm,
Joy.
perfect. Perfect. Jennifer, it was such a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for coming on Volume Up and come back anytime.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Okay, Jeff, what an interview. I mean,
Mhm,
educator,
mhm.
cosmetologist, and I mean, seven-figure salon and spa. Like, get it. Get it.
All about it. So many hats that she's worn, and I think like you can learn, something from one of them. It's such a, embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. Good for her. All right. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbache is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to the creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.